Hey everyone, Trey with Texas Property Management Partners. I wanted to do a quick video today on the eviction process in Texas. Evictions, while unfun, are critical to make sure that you know what that process looks like so that you can have a tenant removed depending on the scenario required. So here at Texas Property Management Partners, we design our lease so that on the 4th of the month, rent is considered late. Some of the things that we try to do to help prevent people from not paying on time is that we send them 3 reminders on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd that rent is due. We understand that life happens, people work at night, and we do get some people that pay at like 11:59 in the evening just before we move on to the next day of the 4th. So it's critical to make sure that you're trying to be proactive and making sure you give them notice so that they can pay on time and just avoid the entire eviction process as a whole. That being said, once the 4th hits, we consider the rent to be late. We apply late fees on them. We give them up to about 3 days to make payment because most leases are written to where the late fees escalate at a daily rate. We do it differently, but many leases I've seen have a daily rate that just kind of evolves over time and makes it very expensive. That being said, on the 7th, we post notice on the door. We send a letter in the mail, and we also send an email as well to pay or quit. That notice essentially gives them 3 days to pay whatever balance they have and or potentially face eviction. Now, if you're familiar with evictions at all, nobody wins when something goes into eviction. So one thing that my staff talks to residents when they get into this pickle is that if they know they're not going to be able to pay by the 10th, they can certainly vacate the property. Because unfortunately, on the 10th, when we filed that document with the courthouse, whichever JP court it's in, that record goes on that individual's file permanently. Regardless of the outcome of the court case, it does indicate, or there is a record of that person's name being associated with an eviction. So that is one lever that we use to help people understand that if they know they're not going to be able to pay, they should leave ahead of time rather than get a permanent mark on the record. After you've filed with the court, the next thing that you're going to need is a date from the court on a court case. So you're going to have to go to the court specifically once that time has been issued, unless the resident decides to vacate the property and give possession back to you in the interim. So I do recommend if you live in the area, check the house out once a week, something like that, just to confirm whether or not they've vacated, and avoid needing to show up to court, because at that point, it's regardless, the whole point of going to court is to get possession of the home back again. So when the court date comes, show up to court. Lots of times residents do not show up, and then you automatically get judgment in your favor of possession. If they do show up and your intent is either to get paid and or take possession, you need to make sure and make that clear to the judge. By default, we always seek possession. We don't negotiate payment plans or anything like that while we're at court. It is strictly we're there for possession. After that court case is settled, say you get judgment that you are looking for, the next thing that you're going to wait for is notification from the court that you have received the writ. The writ is an amount of time that you have, or the resident has, until they can vacate, and then you can contact the local PD to assist you in going to the property and making sure it's been vacated and or have an individual removed. Here we always have the local PD, a locksmith, and a mover, just in case there are items that are in the property. You're going to need to make sure that those items are all removed and set on the curb as the law requires. One thing about the court that can come up from time to time is a resident that files a pauper's affidavit. If they file a pauper's affidavit, that will extend their stay for about an extra 30 days. So while we try to be expeditious and wrapping it up within 30 days, some people who have been through the court system, before, sometimes several times, they know that they can file this pauper's affidavit, which essentially means they don't have money to pay, and that gives them an extended 30 days. So be aware of that just in case it does come up. But again, most people don't show, and judgment is issued on the spot toward the landlord. So there you have it. If you have any more questions on the eviction process, feel free to go to our website, texaspropertymanagementpartners.com, click on our consulting link, set up a time to meet, or give us a call at 800-833-8330, and we'll discuss how we can help you. All right, have a good day.